Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. So good morning. Welcome to another market open stream. U.S. market looks like it wants to open in the green, but we will see. Bitcoin is still holding well. There's a lot of things to talk about this morning, including these developments that will cause Bitcoin to go higher and rise higher. So let's talk about all these things and more. Good morning, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 1 minute away from the market bell. Right now, the futures market about even, a little in the green. So we'll take that. We'll take that. As for the overall crypto market, I mean, Bitcoin is still holding at 22.8, which is really good. Consolidating at this level. Overall market cap above 1 trillion, 1.05 trillion. That is fantastic. And there's the market bell. And this is still working, even though I have not replaced the battery in like 3 years. But okay, it's good. It's good. So what's going on today that will drive Bitcoin higher? Well, I saw this. Let's talk about Japan real quick. Here's how bad it has gotten for Japan and why something like Bitcoin is so important. Japan is in a dire situation right now where they cannot raise rates. Inflation in Japan is sky high, but unlike every other country out there, which has been raising their rates to try to curb inflation, Japan has not done so. And in the past, it was seen like, well, maybe Japan thought that raising rates would bring more harm than good. Even though it may be curbing inflation, it may stall the economy. But now it's coming out that it's much worse than that. That if they raised rates, right, the banknotes, Bank of Japan notes and bonds go up, like the rates on them go up, which means all the money that Japan borrowed, the interest that they have to pay goes up substantially. So now they're saying they can't pay the interest on their bonds if they raise their rates, right? So that's horrible. That's horrible. Basically, they're saying they would be bankrupt if that happened, which is why they're just so desperate at not raising their fund rate, whatever they deem their national rate, right? That's just absolutely horrible. This is what I've been saying. The more you learn about money, more you learn about every country and how they operate, how, specifically in the U.S., how the Fed and the Treasury Department, right, and how all the banks, I mean, if you look at this whole system of how money is created and how much we spend and the deficit and overprinting and all this like shenanigans that's going on, you realize that every country is operating a Ponzi scheme, essentially. And Japan is in that situation where it's worse for them. They can't even raise rates because they think they can't pay back the interest on the money that they borrowed, right? In the U.S., we have the same problem, except our lawmakers just say, well, just spin up the money printer, right? If we need more money, just spin up the money printer. It's okay. Just keep printing money. You know, U.S. is in a better situation because the USD is so strong. But one day, if that stops to be the thing, where the USD is not the strongest and reserve currency of the world, well, then things are going to change, right? But anyways, going back to my point about Bitcoin, this is why we need Bitcoin. Why so many people are turning Bitcoin, trying to opt out of high inflation, of the shenanigans that's being done by central banks around the world, et cetera, right? So one major development that's happening that is going to drive Bitcoin higher for sure. As for other things to pay attention to for this week, DXY, I just got done talking about strength of the dollar, is unfortunately going up a little bit. We were down to like 101, I believe, where we were, getting to a point where we could have seen it go down below 100, which would have been really good. But unfortunately, things are back up again because of what's going on in some of these other countries like Japan, because the dollar is is compared to major currencies around the world, including the Japanese yen, which is like the second biggest category behind the euro. But anyways, the DXY is going up slightly, so this is a continuing thing that we need to monitor. As for some earnings news, we will have some. Microsoft will be releasing their earnings tomorrow, and then Tesla will follow after that. So these are drivers for this week. If either one of these companies or both blow away their earnings, well, we could definitely see a major market rally this week. If they don't, right, many people are anticipating that Tesla will have a weak earnings, and they could fall because of it. It could drive the market lower, obviously, because these are big tech powerhouses that a lot of investors look at them as a forward guidance kind of thing, right? Spotify also, I guess, considered a tech music giant, to trim 6% of their workforce, which is a whole lot better than the 10,000 laid off by Microsoft recently, and 16,000 with 12,000 from Google and 18,000 from Amazon, right? I don't know what the 6% is. Probably a lot. Still hundreds of hundreds. So still a lot of cutting back at this point, right? But here's the good thing about Bitcoin, though. I haven't shown this in a long time. If Bitcoin was a company, which it is not, but if it was, and you're just measuring by market cap alone, Bitcoin right now would be the 16th largest company on Earth, not just in the US, right? And it is above Tesla, and it's above even JP Morgan Chase, okay? The biggest bank out there on Earth. So Bitcoin is already bigger than some of these guys, including Facebook also, including MasterCard, Procter & Gamble, Samsung, right? But as you climb higher, and Bitcoin has been higher. Bitcoin at one point in time was bigger than silver, right? But you can see on top, this is the ultimate goal, to defeat gold. Gold is around 13 trillion market cap, right? And if Bitcoin is a digital gold, why not replace gold someday, right? If Bitcoin heads up and continues to surpass all these companies and other precious metals like silver, continues higher, one day when Bitcoin is at number one above gold with over 13 trillion market cap, that equates to around 660,000 per Bitcoin. Something to look forward to. Maybe not this cycle, but the cycle after that, or maybe the cycle after that. Maybe we got to wait another 12 years, okay? Or 9 years to wait until the next 4-year cycle. But that's still pretty quick. 9 years, 10 years can come really quick. So just to give you guys something to look forward to. Peter Schiff, the inverse Kramer thing. Inverse Peter Schiff also works pretty well. So Peter McCormick has highlighted that since Peter told people to sell when Bitcoin first hit 18,000 like a few weeks ago, well, it's up another 27%, right? Kind of like Kramer, the inverse Kramer made the ultimate, bottom call when he told everyone to sell, right? So that's absolutely fantastic. So, Peter, still very bearish on Bitcoin, but that's okay. We'll take that because it actually helps us. All right, what else is there? Well, as for some charts, here's one that's confirming the super trend on the weekly scale. Okay, I don't know what this is actually measuring, but what it does look like is right now we're in this bottom fourth cycle. And you could see the bottom third cycle, bottom second cycle. That's when the super trend confirmed. And whenever these cycles get confirmed, good things happen. Very good things happen. And when I say good things, I'm talking about sometimes thousands of percents of gains that follow, right? So that's looking good. And also, this is another one that's just showing how we're coming up from bottom, right? Bitcoin, whenever it forms a bottom, it consolidates for quite some time. You know, you have a lot of these indicators that just show that Bitcoin is oversold, right? And it could stay there for months upon months upon months. But what happens after those consolidation periods? Again, periods where you enter bull runs and you have tremendous upsides, right? And we're in one of those times right now. So this is also one of those things that's happening that will make Bitcoin go higher. So good stuff. Good stuff. This will also help Bitcoin go higher. You have countries, more and more countries. Recently, I've been talking a lot about states. A lot of states want to become pro-Bitcoin mining. They want to entice Bitcoin miners to come on board because they know they're going to make more revenue from the taxes. Plus, it's going to help the states beef up the power grid. So recently, we've been hearing a lot about states being very pro-Bitcoin, even Texas wanting to buy Bitcoin to put on their balance sheet. But now we're also seeing other countries like Brazil and Argentina. They're thinking about creating a common currency. You don't need a common currency. The common currency is Bitcoin. It already exists, right? So wait until one of these big boys. We've seen a lot of small countries, right? We've seen a lot of small countries like Central African Republic and El Salvador that have made Bitcoin legal tender, and they continue to come up with more offerings. For example, they want to draft a crypto bill, and then El Salvador is doing their volcano bonds now, right? Massive interest. But now, one of these big boys like Brazil, if they embrace Bitcoin fully, they have started already, but if they embrace it fully, I mean, wow. Just watch out then, right? We're starting to see more and more countries take a look at Bitcoin and crypto overall because their systems have broke. Remember at the beginning I said all the financial systems, all the banks out there are Ponzi schemes. But some could keep the scheme going longer because, well, the country's just in a better shape. Some countries cannot. That's why they have hyperinflation. That's why their currency is worthless and you see them as trash on the floor, right? So a lot of countries like that, they're like, we need something better, right? Why not embrace Bitcoin? Because as bad as it is in their country, you know, embracing Bitcoin will only make it better, right? Even though Bitcoin has up and downs and can be very volatile, but still versus what they're going through is way, way, way better. And overall, we know that over a lengthy period of time, nothing outperforms Bitcoin. So why would you not want to embrace Bitcoin, right? You need an asset that outperforms inflation, right? That's what it comes down to. And nothing over the last 10 years has done better at that than Bitcoin. So this is also pretty positive. Very, very positive. The last two things outside of Bitcoin, Cardano somehow hit with some kind of disconnection bug. 50% of the nodes disconnected from the network and rebooted themselves. And IOHK is trying to figure out what just happened here. But the good news is the chain was still up, and there was other kind of nodes that were still up. So overall, the chain didn't go down, but it's curious why they just disconnected and rebooted, right? Maybe some kind of, it has to be some kind of bug, but where did it come from? We don't know. And then this is also really big for Uniswap. Uniswap is asking if moving, or at least moving Uniswap's 3 to BNB chain, they were asking basically their fans or people that are using it, and 80% said yes. So this could be coming. And why this is huge for Uniswap is because Uniswap primarily deals with ERC20 tokens. But if they move E3 to BNB chain, now they will be the dominant DEX on not only Ethereum but also Binance chain, right? This will be huge if this happens. Most likely it will. But you know, this will not be good for other DEXs within BNB's ecosystem like PancakeSwap, but it's going to be absolutely huge for Uniswap. Pretty soon you'll have one DEX that will be able to, you know, trade across all chains, even though there are aggregators that exist that kind of does that now, but not nearly as big as Uniswap, right? So this could be a big move. Big move. Oh, look at this. Microsoft announces multi-billion-dollar investment in ChatGPT, OpenAI. AI plays have been very hot in crypto, right? Fueled by this. A new multi-billion-dollar investment. What does that mean exactly? They invested $1 billion already before. Supposedly they were going to invest $10 billion into ChatGPT, but I don't know if that's the case. Microsoft declined to provide a specific dollar amount, but it's in the billions. It's in the billions. And they really want to utilize this to beef up Bing search, to try to, you know, catch up to Google finally. And now who knows? Maybe they can integrate it into everything, into all Microsoft products. Imagine you have ChatGPT that's already integrated in Microsoft Word. You don't have to go anywhere. You just click a button and say, hey, write an article for me about why someone should be bullish on Bitcoin. And it just writes it. It'll scan all the articles out there. It'll scan Bing and then write like a 2-page document or article about it, right? Imagine the potential of this. It could be that good. If you use ChatGPT, I mean, it's pretty amazing at coming up with scripts and articles and summarizing, and who knows? It'll be wild. It'll be wild. All right. Bitcoin's up slightly. The U.S. market, NASDAQ is up almost a full percentage point, so that's good. All right, let's do some Q&A. Kiss my crypto. Good morning. Rio Cans. I don't know if I said that right. All right. Let's see. Let's see if I missed anything here. Scrolling down. I have two sisters who are executives at BlackRock and JP Morgan. They have been buying a whole lot of Tesla. They told me Tesla's 18-wheeler electric truck can reduce supply chain costs by 12 to 25%. Thoughts? I don't doubt it, except here's the thing. All these companies that buy the Tesla Semi, they have to install these, you know, special supercharger setups, which is fine if they install in their warehouse. But if they're using it across country, you know, there's not a whole lot of semi superconductors across country, right? And these trucks top out around 500 miles. So it's going to take a while before they're used across country. If it's locally, sure. But then again, the cost of Tesla semis are probably higher. And I don't know what the production rate is. So I don't know. And I know it sounds impressive that your sister's working at BlackRock and JP Morgan and they say that, but unless they have inside information, which I don't think they do, they're speculating like everyone else. I don't think anyone is buying Tesla because of their semi-truck, to be honest. I think they're buying because their growth rate, their 40% year-to-year growth, which many people overlook, and plus all the other stuff they're working on with like the robot and possibly neural net and stuff like that. And we'll see if they can ramp up the Cybertruck. Did you see the Did you see the Metaverse Marathon this weekend? No. I had no idea what that's about. No. Miles. Sure. Okay. Jan, do you think we sustain our bull run? Or we're not in a bull run, okay? Correction, we're not in a bull run. We're just recovering from bottom. So it depends on your time scale. From here on to the end of the year, I do believe we're going to continue rising. But during the year, are we going to see volatility? Yes. Patrick, if you don't know what the halving event is, go Google it. Or ChatGPT it. Do you expect some fallout from the DCG Genesis situation? No. We've been talking about it for weeks now. Genesis declared bankruptcy. Bitcoin didn't flinch. I think people have priced it in already. People already know that it's happening or it will happen, and it did. And I don't think so. I don't think so. Now, if DCG itself goes belly up, that's a different story. But I think it's contained to Genesis only. But if DCG ends up saying in real trouble and they have to sell Bitcoin from their Bitcoin trust, that's a different story. But I don't think we're going to see that. Rollcore. I can't repeat that, but that's fine. NMCT, if you trust your sister, then go ahead and go stock up on Tesla. I mean, even besides what you just said, I've been saying, Tesla has bounced from its bottom about like 102. I think it's a good play. I even bought some open calls for end of December. I think they're going to go up, but I think what's coming on Thursday is going to be, or Wednesday, the 25th. 25th is Wednesday, right? If this brings Tesla back down again, I think it'll be a good buying opportunity. If it goes up, then great. But I do think it was oversold. So, hey, look at that. Bitcoin's above 23. Nice. Nice. Do you believe the equities market is going to dump another leg down? No, I don't think so. From a macro scale, on a macro scale, it seems like things are getting better. So unless there's a drastic turnaround, I just don't see how we could have another big leg down. We could have sideways movement, non-movement, but for us to have another leg down, I just don't see it unless something disastrous happens. Kia EV9 going to the best EV of all time? Probably not. I never even looked at it yet, so I don't know, but probably not. Besides ETH, if you had to choose which L1 would be your favorite, Polygon doesn't count. Why? Why doesn't it count? There's really no second favorite. Because all of them in the top 10 really are like tied, like Binance and Cardano, and you could even throw Polkadot in there, Solana's. I mean, there's no clear leader. So I can't answer you there. Nice. So our local resistance here is right here, 23.4. If we get break through that, go to 24.3, which I think will happen shortly. After this is where it gets really exciting. After this is when we head to 30,000. Patrick, welcome. Do you think Tesla Model 3s and Ys are a good deal at their current markdown? You know, that's the one thing I was complaining about with my friends who all have bought Teslas now. I'm like, this price cut sucks because if you're a current holder, your car just depreciated by 13 to 20%. And it sucks. It's good for new people coming in, right? But my Model X Plaid, which I picked up not too long ago, maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, I don't know what it is. It lost like $15,000 just because the price cut, right? Like that means if I was to sell it, it loses 13,000 or 15,000, whatever it is, more because of the price cut. And anyone that bought a Model Y or 3, you know, in December, November, October, I mean, same thing. Your car just depreciated by a ton just through the price cuts. So that really sucks. But to answer your question, is it a good buy right now? Yes. Especially like a Model Y. I would never get a Model 3. Model Y blows Model 3 away in every category. If you're thinking about it, get a Model Y. And then, you know, you're getting the tax credit as long as you don't make too much money in a year. You get that $7,500 tax credit on top of price cuts. It's a pretty good deal. How does it feel to be a top G? I guess I can't complain. I'm still a lowercase g. Hey, as long as you're a G, you're fine. What is happening with Tate? Is he still locked up? I know he was supposed to be locked up for 30 days. He got transferred to some hospital. I don't know what's going on with him. The news about him just kind of died down, and I don't see any clips about him on TikTok anymore. Officially a whole coiner today. Thanks for all the great info this year. Congratulations, Salion. Yeah, I think that's how you say Salion. Congratulations, my man. Miles, I answered that already. Thank you, though. Matt Ford, what do you want answered? Jared, see, this is the power of DCA, right? Recently, there's been a lot more people coming on the chat and saying, I've just accumulated 1 Bitcoin. I just became a whole coiner, right? It's much easier when things are down, and it's much easier if you DCA over time rather than try to pull out 22,000 to buy a single Bitcoin. So that's the way to do it. Accumulate as much as you can, but within within your reasonable means, and do it by taking the guessing out. Is the Chinese stock market closed for a whole week? I'm actually not sure. I'm not actually not sure. They could be. They could be off the whole week. The U.S. market, closer to one. What is Well, Tesla's up almost 4%. Coinbase not doing so good. Need Coinbase to flip above. What else? Rivian pumping. Rivian pumping makes no sense. It's like 0 cents. I don't get the appeal of Rivian. Anyways. Brent. I'm so on Hedera. Never been a big fan of them. Man, after pumping to 23, we just had like a mini fake out. It's okay. Moving sideways is perfectly fine like this, okay? Just like this, right? This was moving sideways, even though we had a little volatility here, but overall moving sideways and then next leg up, right? So it could be this week, we move sideways, then next leg up. It's very early. Fizzle. Thank you. Miles, I guess good for you. Glad to hear it. I think. Bad Sunshine said, I made $3,000 in December. I haven't looked at my yearly income from Uber yet. It's my side gig. I'm an engineering designer Monday to Friday. Yeah. Good. You always got to hustle, right? Especially if you want to invest. You want to invest with money, with extra money, side hustle money, right? You don't want to invest more than what you can afford to lose. Meaning you don't want to invest things that require you to take out like a credit card loan or like a mortgage loan or something like that. You don't want to invest with money that you need day to day. You need to invest with side money or extra money. So good for you, Bad Sunshine. For me, I would much rather become like a DoorDasher than an Uber driver. Like, I don't know if I want to talk to people, right? I just rather just like deliver food. In my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you do like talking to people. Rivian has huge revenue growth and deal with Amazon, going to be big over time. Yeah, well, they might as well just convert to just making delivery vans because they're not delivering hardly any trucks. Right? Maybe that's the thing. I know Amazon invests in Rivian, but they might as well just sell it to them because the number of trucks they produce per quarter is dismal. It's like laughable versus what Tesla's now delivering. So I just don't see how any of these companies survive, really. Michael, you're going to have to Google it. No, I don't have any more info. Sorry. Raf, everyone is in crypto either to make money or hedge against inflation. If this is true, then no company would pump the price unless they believe they're going to make money. Your thoughts? I don't know. Isn't that obvious? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that because that's stating the obvious. That's like saying humans need air to breathe and to live. What are your thoughts? I mean, like, okay, yeah, that's that's a bad analogy, but I don't know what you want me to say. Yeah, of course, companies are buying Bitcoin either to try to make money or to hedge against inflation, just like people. So, yeah. What was that question that someone was trying to ask? I mean, I have nothing against Rivian or Lucid, right? It's just that they're very hyped up and they just don't produce all that many cars. It's like very little. Um, so I just, have a problem seeing them surviving or even thriving, right, in the future. They really have to make some changes or figure out how to pump out a lot more cars. And in this environment, it's hard to sell 70,000 plus dollar cars when the economy isn't doing so good, right? So that's also a big factor. Tesla just cut all their prices, not only to get their cars to be eligible for the tax credit, but also because, the economy isn't doing so well. So, people aren't buying as much as before. Does Genesis bankruptcy mean Gemini earns will get some of their assets back? Yes, that's what it means. Unless they're so in the hole that there's nothing left. But there's something left. So, yes, most likely you'll get something back, but it's going to be a while before it happens, probably. Any thoughts on the XRP case? Supposedly something's happening this Wednesday. I hear people talk about Wednesday. I don't know if there's some new development or people are just guessing when a settlement may be coming. I don't know. It's up today. So I will root for Ripple. I will root for Ripple. They're fighting the good fight right now against SEC. So, should I sell and give a 1,000 super chat? No, Miles. No. Keep it for yourself. Go buy some more crypto with it rather than giving me that. If you already own a home and you're saving for a new house, what percentage should you hold in cash versus crypto or other investments? The two, okay, I think there are two non-correlated things there that you're asking, that you're trying to correlate, right? But if you're saving for a new house, then of course save as much as you can for that new house, but it also depends on the timing of it. Are you planning to get a new house in a year, 5 years, 20 years? It's different, right? But as for crypto, whatever you're trying to save for the house should be separate, right? Your crypto investments or your crypto holding should be, again, extra money, right? You don't want to be investing money that you're trying to use for something else. That could take away from something else. So if you're using the money that you're saving for your house into crypto, well, you're risking it, right? And so if something goes wrong, then you're really screwed, right? So I think the two should be separate. Now, if you happen to separate and you put some money into crypto and it goes up, then of course that benefits you because you can then sell that and put it towards your new house. You could do that too, but I do think that it's probably wiser or advisable, even though I'm not a financial advisor. You do what you want, but you should probably separate the two money. Fun Master. I just actually talked about Rivian. I have no idea why it's going up. Probably because Tesla's going up. And people always speculate on other EV stocks when Tesla does well. I don't get it. Why do billionaires like Winklevi get greedy and risk losing it all? If I was a billionaire, I'd be extreme. Well, they didn't get greedy. They just offered a product, Gemini Earn, which they thought was going to be a good product. But it seems like they didn't put any money into it. So, but if you're talking about all the others that got greedy, because people are just greedy. That's the thing. Like for me, personally, I have a goal in mind, okay, in terms of my net worth. Once I hit that goal, I'm just going to relax, okay? I have no ambition to become a billionaire, okay? It just takes too much time and dedication and effort. I'd rather spend it enjoying my life with the family while I still have time, right? But for some, it's never enough. Even though they have $1 billion net worth, they're like, I want to continue forward to 10 billion, to 100 billion. I want to become the richest man on earth, which is fine. If you want to be the next Elon or Jeff Bezos, go for it, but not me, right? But my point is, some people that keep pushing themselves in order to jump from 1 billion to 10 billion, right? It's going to take some risks, and sometimes they take the wrong turn. They put on too much risk, and it all collapses, right? So you gotta be careful. To be a billionaire, you need luck on top of being smart and hardworking. I would generally agree, except you could commit fraud and become a billionaire really quick too. What's that guy that created that? Well, just look at Elizabeth Holmes, right? You look at Do Kwon Zoo Soo, look at SBF, even though, no, I'll just throw them in there. And also look at that other EV maker. What's the one that was also into trucks? Milton something or whatever. Like, he also committed fraud too, and he was a billionaire. So it's much easier to become a billionaire if you commit fraud versus being legit. I think. I don't know. I don't know. Nikola, yes, Nikola. That guy's facing some jail time too. DK Grimm, I'm going to be the first millionaire in my family tree. Congratulations. That's huge. You know, before it was like, yeah, I'm going to be the first graduate in my family, which is great. I'm not making fun of education, but I think it's a lot more impressive to become the first millionaire in the country, in the family, right? So, congratulations. All right, guys. I'll let you go today. Bitcoin is still hanging, 22.8. Whole crypto market is still above $1 trillion. Can't complain. U.S. market turning into green, more green. That's great. But I talked about all these things that's happening right now that will drive Bitcoin higher and crypto too. So stay strong, my friends, and I will see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.